Hi, welcome to Test Correction Fly Vlog. And the first question that I missed says, which of the following is a feature of no-till agriculture? And no-till agriculture is basically a way of farming year to year without really disturbing the soil. So that means the correct answer would be the land is not plowed, because then you wouldn't be disturbing the land. So the next question I missed says, which of the following is not an acceptable migration technique used to reverse the process of desertification? And the correct answer is to encourage large-scale cultivation of the land to hold the soil in place. And the reason this wouldn't work is because all of the soil is already like dry and lacking nutrients because it was overused. So just bringing large-scale cultivations wouldn't really change anything. It would only dry it out even more, and then they wouldn't even make that much of a profit off of it because they would have to spend so much money maintaining the land because it's already like dead. So I missed question number 8 next, and it has this graph or diagram or picture, and it says, which of the following is most likely the composition of the soil sample? And it says 100 milliliters of water being poured through the soil sampler. After the water has passed through the soil, 98 milliliters of water is measured in the collection tray below the sample. And so the correct answer would be 10% clay, 10% silt, and 80% sand. And the reason it would be this is because the water goes through sand the most. So if it was any other option higher than sand, then there would probably be less water retained in the container. The next question says, which of the following properties of soil sample most influences the flow of water through the sample? And the correct answer is permeability, because with permeability, that allows like liquids or gases to flow through the mixture with no problem. So this is why permeability would affect it the most. Okay, so the next question I missed is number 11, and it says, switching from customary large-scale agricultural practices to which of the following is most likely to reduce the exposure of farm work and nearby residents to toxic chemicals? And the correct answer is integrated pest management. And the reason this would reduce the exposure to nearby farmers or any farms that are nearby is because when they do use the integrated pest management program, many of the toxins that are used often float to like nearby farms that are working. So the small farm companies often complain about this because it gets all of their crops, but their crops are not like immune to the strong pesticides that they use, so it can end up killing like their crops that they're trying to grow for money. I missed number 14 next. It says, which of the following best describes the process of leaching? And the correct answer is A. It says water percolating through soil, dissolving some of its material. And the reason it would be this is because when I think of leaching, I think of like the little insects taking blood from. The next one I missed is number 15. It says, which of the following represents a correct pairing of an agricultural practice with its environmental consequence? And the correct answer is paddy rice cultivation and methane emission. And paddy rice cultivation is the agricultural practice because those are the crops that are being grown and that are giving us food. And the environmental consequence is the methane emissions that it produces because they're really high, and the amount of food that paddy rice gives us is not worth the consequence of the methane emissions. So this number 16 also says, an integrated pest management approach to pest control emphasizes which of the following? And the correct answer is the reduction of crop damage and economically viable level. And the integrated pest management program it doesn't like more protect the crops more, but I guess it like reduces the dose. But the plants can like still work with it. They're not like fully adaptable to the other one yet. And yeah, it works for the economy too. They can get it at a good price. It works for both of them. So that's why this method is becoming more popular than the rest. Oh, and it also protects like the nearby farms that the like pest control stuff would normally like float to in the winds, and now it's protected, or now the pest management approach like I don't know, calms it, and they don't use like as many toxic chemicals. Okay, I also missed number 19. It says, which of the following is most likely to increase both the nutrient levels and bacterial content of lake water? And the correct answer is runoff from a nearby hog farm. And the reason this is the correct answer is because the hog farm is very like unsanitary, and all the pigs are packed in very tight, and just them being hogs is like, I don't know, seen as unsanitary. So that's how the bacteria would get in there and like get super high. But then the nutrients, the food that they're fed, the water that they receive, they're pretty healthy, I guess, because they obviously have to feed them to like humans, so they should be in good condition. So like their waste or urine or poop will flow into the river, and I guess the poop from their, or the nutrients from their like waste can dissolve, or the nutrients from their poop can dissolve in the river, and this would give the river like more, or not the river, the lake. This would give the lake more nutrients that it needs. Okay, so the next one I missed says soil is classified as blank % sand, and the correct answer is soil is classified as soil classified as sand is at least 85% sand, and the reason it would be 85 is because that's a really high number, the highest compared to the rest of them actually. So in order for it to be a sand, or in order for the soil to be classified as sand, it has to have a really high sand concentration count, and this has the most, so that's why this is the correct answer. Okay, so I missed number 27 next, and it says soil that is 30% silt could be classified as any of the following except, and the correct answer is silt loam. And the reason this is because 30% is not enough for it to be considered silt loam. It would have to be like a really high number, like in the question before, at least 85. It would probably have to be around there in order for it to be classified as a silt loam. But if it's not that high, then it wouldn't be considered a silt loam. Okay, the next question says, what is the approximate minimum % sand a soil can have and still be considered a sandy loam? And that would be 43%, because 43 is the minimum in order for it to be considered a sandy loam still, so that's why it's 43%. Okay, the next question says soil that is 50% clay, 20% silt, and 30% sand would be categorized as and the correct answer is clay, and that is because exactly half is made up of clay. So it's not really like a collaborative with any other one, like the other two are spread out pretty evenly, so that's why it would be considered just clay by itself, just clay. Okay, I missed number 31 next. It says erosion can result in a positive feedback loop because the correct answer is B. Plants are less likely to grow in corroded soil, and this can be helpful if an area has over-nutritioned like food or plants. So if the area is eroded, then that kind of like balances it out for the other plants that are growing there and have high nutrients levels. So that's how erosion can be helpful. Okay, so the last one I missed is number 49. It says, which of the following best explains why pesticides have become ineffective over time? And the correct answer is D. resistant to the pesticide survived and passed on the resistance to the next generation. So this pretty much means that they passed the parent pest passed down their good genes to their children, and so that is why the children are resistant to these pesticides, and they're born infective. So, or they're born like immune to the pesticides. So the pesticides become ineffective, and this is why they can't or become useless and can't kill the bugs anymore. Alright, and that's the end of my test corrections vlog. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in class.